Welcome to my channel. My name is Isaiah Jordan. I'm here to talk about basketball fully and completely. As always, please leave comments below. Give your opinions, your thoughts on the channel. Give a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. I can't give you what you want if you don't ask for it, if you don't tell me. Closed mouth don't get fed, y'all. Just got my new haircut, nice and bald, love it. Got the wind all blowing on my head. I can think better. So today we're gonna do a free-for-all kind of talk of basketball. As of always, if you like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't, leave a comment. I can't give you what you want if you don't tell me what you want. A closed mouth don't get fed. Let's get started. So as of April 7th, yesterday, Westbrook has averaged a triple-double for the entire season. And this is an amazing feat that I don't think y'all understand. The last time this was done was in the 60s. And most people don't try to get in, and it's clear that Westbrook was going for a triple-double, averaging for the season. But he's also leading in scoring for the whole league with 31.4, I believe. I don't have the exact numbers with me. 31.4, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, 10.6 rebounds, and 10.8 assists, something like that, which is amazing. In my opinion, I believe he is the undoubted MVP. There's no getting around it. Somebody who can do all of that at the guard position. Remember, he's playing point guard. So you expect him to get 10 assists. It should come easy because he got the ball in his hand. And his style of play, he's grabbing a rebound, he's out, he's gone. About 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you blink, you look up, he's at the rim from the other side of the court. So that's amazing in its own. I know what some of y'all saying. Oh, what about Harden? What about James Harden? What he's doing? He's averaging 27 points, 12 assists, and about seven rebounds. Yeah, that's all good. And if it wasn't for what Westbrook is doing, he would be the MVP. But let me take y'all back a few years. Remember when Steve Nash won MVP 2 years in a row? Shaq was at his most dominant at that time. This is when Shaq has always been dominant. He's always been the biggest guy on the court. More times than not, the strongest guy on the court at 7'1", 300 plus pounds, can run, can do all this. But when he got to the Lakers, he developed skill in the post. It wasn't just brute force anymore. It was skill. It was a jump hook. It was great footwork. He was dominating the league, and they gave it to Steve Nash, and they still gave the MVP to Steve Nash, even though he was leading the league in rebounds and points, which is beyond crazy to me. But why did he win it? Well, one, the hand check rule just got out because of somebody named Derek Harper. The hand check rule is when you're guarding a player and you put your hand on his hip to kind of guide him where you want him to go. So if you want him to go right, you put your hand on his hip and you kind of push him that way, just slightly. You ain't got to give him a lot of force, just a little bit, and he'll go. They changed that rule to where you can't put your hand on a player hip when you're guarding him. You can only use your forearm, which is much harder for you to guard now. It's much harder for you to make a player go a certain way because you ain't got that force on your forearm. And if you use the back of your forearm where your elbow is, that's a foul. So when they changed that rule, it allowed for small guys, little guards, to use their speed to get past bigger guys and really good defenders. And he played in the system with Mike D'Antoni. Now, there's no doubt that anybody who plays for D'Antoni, their numbers automatically go up. So in my opinion, anybody who wants a big contract, they're in a contract year or something, go to the Rockets right now. your numbers gonna go up. You'll get a better contract. But that's why he got MVP, because he had the league on his side. He had Mike D'Antoni with his inflated numbers. And that's what James Harden is doing right now. He got D'Antoni, he got inflated numbers, and he has a better team. You gotta think about it. He got nothing but shooters. Westbrook don't have great shooters like he has. Matter of fact, one of his shooters, Eric Gordon, just won the 3-point shootout. That should be evidence that he has a better shooting team, from bigs to smalls. He has a better shooting team than Westbrook. This is why I believe Westbrook is the MVP. MVP stands for most valuable player. Not very great player with great teammates. No, this is why Kawhi Leonard shouldn't win the MVP. Because if we was judging off of that, Kawhi Leonard is the MVP every year. Every year. Because he can not play a game and they'll still win. They're still blowing out teams. They'll still beat you. Because their system don't revolve around one player. It's a whole group collection, which is why they won 50 games for the last 20 years. Let's see, what else? LeBron and them just lost against Atlanta, which was disgusting, disturbing, to say the least. They didn't have their starting point guard or their starting center, and they still managed to beat Cleveland Cavaliers. Atlanta Hawks did. Again, their defense shows that they have problems. They're not producing at a rate that they should because their defense isn't there. They really need to tighten up on defense. They need to buy in. You need to get those guys to buy in and get ready for the playoffs. There's only 3 games left, and all 8 games are pretty much playoff contenders. You got the Hawks again, and then I think they got the Celtics or the Wizards. Everybody they playing is in the playoffs, except for the Orlando Magics. They're not in the playoffs, but it's Orlando. I mean, they don't have anybody. They're not even a good team right now. Let's see, what else? Yeah, well, that's for the MVP. That's enough for the MVP. Steph and the Warriors. We're gonna go to them. I don't believe Steph is the best player on that team. I believe Klay Thompson is the best player on that team. Draymond gets the team going. He's the life. He's the heart of the team. He gets the team pumped when they need to. He'll take that hard foul. He'll do the dirty things that most people don't want to do. He's the Dennis Rodman of today. Not as good as Dennis Rodman, but he's the Dennis Rodman. Here's a guy you gotta look out for. Devin Booker. Remember that name, Devin Booker. And I always thought this even before he dropped 70 points in the game against the Boston Celtics. If he wasn't so young, he would get most improved player. Easily get most improved player the way he's playing. He looks like the next Kobe Bryant. That's how good he looks. He can get to the rim, he can shoot the ball, he can do a lot of things. He looks good. Watch out for him and the Phoenix Suns along with Tyler Ulis. And them boys. They got a really young, youthful team that can score the ball, that can rebound. They're good. Watch out for them. And they got the number 3. And they got one of the top draft picks in this year's draft class. Let's see what else. I think the Lakers' problem is bigger than people may think. Now, that's not to say that the Lakers have a big problem or a huge problem. They have a young team, they rebuild, and they look good. But I haven't bought into their young talent yet, except for Brandon Ingram, which I think he's gonna be more than exceptional. I'm thinking a 20-point-a-night scorer, easy, good defender because of his length. But everybody else, the Julius Randles and D'Angelo Russell, I haven't bought into them as really good basketball players, great basketball players. They're still young, they still have time. Lakers too have top draft picks, but I don't see them being good in the next 5 years. I think they'll need a little more than that, especially since players don't want to go there anymore. They don't want to go to LA. They don't want to go to the big market places because the CBA has allowed them to make money in small markets. So now you can be in Atlanta, which is a small market, or San Antonio, which is a small market, and still get $100 million contract without worrying about it because the TV deal just giving out money, just giving people who haven't really earned it yet, just giving them crazy amounts of money, a la Mike Conley, $130 million contract, which he hasn't earned. Even this season, he hasn't earned. That's top 5 point guard kind of money. And he's not a top 5 point guard. My sleeper teams, my teams for the future, you can say, are the Milwaukee Bucks and the 76ers. Now, in my opinion, Joel Embiid is the best center in the league right now. I don't care what nobody's saying. DeMarcus Cousins is one of my favorite players. He is. But his defense is garbage. Hot garbage. Lean garbage too. It's horrible. His defense is disgusting. A few years ago, he realized this. He realized he couldn't jump with some of these players. He realized he couldn't move with some of these players. So he started taking charges. And that as a defensive player is good, because if you can't block the shot and you can't keep up with a play or change the shot, then you take the charge and you'll get the ball. That's good defense. But this past year, he stopped. This past year or two, he has stopped. And where did his defense come from? Nowhere, because he has no defense, which is horrible in itself. Let's see. So Joel Embiid to me is the best center, even though he's injury prone and he hasn't played a lot of minutes. And that's the thing. He only played like a max 26 minutes, 28 minutes a game. And he was so impactful with shooting 3 balls from the top key from the corner. Mid-range, he's good. Inside, he's 7'2", 280. Like he's a really good center. I hope he stays healthy. He's definitely one of the best centers we have in the league. And they have a lot of talent on that team. Ben Simmons hasn't played yet, but yesterday an article came out. ESPN said he grew 2 inches. Like, that's a lot. He went from 6'10" to like 6'11", 7 foot at the small forward position. Like, that's amazing. That's beyond amazing. He can run the floor, he can pass the ball. Everybody talk about his shooting. I don't worry about shooting, because when you come into the league, they teach you how to shoot. They teach you how to shoot in the league, and they said that about Kawhi Leonard. They said that about Michael Jordan. Oh, they can't shoot. They're not good shooters. They learned how to shoot proficiently. They became very efficient shooters. Not on a level of a Steph Curry or Ray Allen or anything like that, but they became respectable shooters in their own rights. And the Milwaukee Bucks. Listen, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Lord have mercy, that boy nice. He again, 6'11", long, plays really good defense, and every time he gets to the rim, he's dunking the ball. You don't see him just laying it up. He'll be down there like a big man dunking the ball. Or you seen him against the Pacers this year when he took off from the free throw line with the tomahawk. He is something special. Jabari Parker too, but he has to stay healthy because these last couple years he's been injured. If he can stay healthy, he's another one. He's another one that's going to be really good. 20 points a night, easy, at the power forward position. Power forward, small forward position. Let's see what we got here. I got my computer in front of me. Please forgive me. It's not supposed to be. This session isn't supposed to be, planned out or anything. We just supposed to talk and go at it. So I'm looking up some things here. I'm gonna tell y'all some of my favorites. My favorite team is the San Antonio Spurs. I really like San Antonio. I've always liked them. It's the way that they play the game of basketball that I like the most. Like, they pass the ball, they play good defense. You always see them in the top tiers of teams. Another one of I have two favorite teams because having one favorite is it's just not fair. It's too many teams in the league. You got an East and you got the West. So I have one East team, one West team. My West team is San Antonio. San Antonio is my West team, but my East team is the Knicks. Now we're going to talk about the Knicks, and since I'm from Brooklyn, and that's where we at, live in effect from Brooklyn, I'm gonna talk about the Knicks and I'm gonna talk about the Nets. I'm gonna talk about what the Knicks need to do first. The Knicks need to learn how to lose. Think about it. When have you seen them at the bottom, except for a few years ago? When have you seen them at the absolute bottom? Never. They never allow themselves. They'll go and get an old, aging star before they allow themselves to get a high pick in the draft. They would rather have a number 10 pick, a number 11 pick. If you're gonna have that, you might as well go and get a number 5 pick. You have a better chance of developing him into a star rather than having trying to find somebody at a number 11 pick. So they have to learn how to lose. They have to tank. They have to tank the right way though. They have to, let's say a player gets injured. Let's say Carmelo gets injured. He tweaked his ankle or something like that. Let's say Carmelo tweaked his ankle. So what do? You sit him down. Let's say the doctor say, hey, tweak your ankle. You can be back in 2 weeks though. Say, Carmelo, I know you could be back in 2 weeks. We want you to be completely healthy. So you're not gonna play for this entire month. You're done. You're gonna sit down for this month. You're gonna heal properly. You're gonna rest your body. And when you come back strong, ready to go. Now you got a whole month of a better chance of losing, of a worse record, so you can get that high draft pick. This way you're not just blatantly tanking the way the 76ers did, and that just looked horrible. So that's how you're supposed to tank. But that's what I think they need to do. I think, and I like Melo, but I think he should leave. I want Melo to win a ring. I want him to win a ring. Melo is one of the players that I like. I think he should go to Cleveland, or he should go to the Clippers or the Rockets or somebody like that and win a ring, because if any one of those teams get him, it's going to be a problem, because he has proven that along with other stars, he is a force to be reckoned with offensively. I'm not saying he's the best defender, but he's no scrub either. So that's their problem. They just need to learn how to lose. They got Porzingis. They got him on a rookie contract. That's a guaranteed 4 years, 3 years now. So you can get in the draft for 2 years. Tell Porzingis, hey, look, we building, and we want you to be a part of that. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to have plan A, plan B, plan C, and here we go. We in the playoffs. We got you. That's what they need to do. The Brooklyn Nets learned that the hard way. They went and got Paul Pierce and Joe Johnson and Darren Williams and Kevin Garnett when they was all out of their primes. All of them was out of their primes. They wasn't as good as they used to be. Kevin Garnett, once he got injured in Boston, he was never the same player. He can play okay defense, but not at the level he used to. offensively, he definitely wasn't the same player. Paul Pierce, same thing. Darren Williams had injury problems, so it was just Joe Johnson, and just Joe Johnson ain't gonna get it done. So they learned the hard way. They got rid of all them players. But when they traded for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, they gave away future number 1 draft picks to Boston. So now they got the worst record in the league. And that draft pick, that number 1 draft pick, is going to the Boston Celtics. And Boston Celtics is currently number 2 in the standings, in the Eastern Conference standings. They're number 2, right behind Cleveland. Like directly behind Cleveland, like 1 game. That's how you run a franchise into the ground. You gotta think for the future. The now is permanent. You're not a good team. You're not a great team. You're in 1 through 8th in the playoffs on the Eastern side. You're like number 5, so you're not great. You gotta think for the future, and that's what they're doing now. They told Brook Lopez, hey, if you want to stay, you'll stay. If you want to be traded, let us know. We'll trade you, and we might think about trading you just so we can get into the draft, just so we can build up. You're doing what you need to do for the franchise, so you can be that team in the East. Because right now it's just Cleveland. Nobody's coming out the East but Cleveland. I'll say it again. Nobody's coming out the East but Cleveland. Nobody is beating them. Nobody's beating LeBron right now. But 2 or 3 years down the line, LeBron is gonna be 35, 36. You're already on your way down when you hit 30 in the NBA anyway. Once you hit 30, you're on your way down. Your body is going down. It's not going up. So as Boston is on its way, they got a long way to go though. New York, they don't have a long way to go. They're just being stubborn. You went and got Derrick Rose, which was not a bad trade-off. You had him from 1 year. He had 1 year left on his contract. This was his contract year. He played. I hope you don't re-sign him. Not saying that he wasn't good, but Derrick Rose, Cotton Candy, a.k.a. Cotton Candy knees. You don't need somebody like that on your team. Then you went and got Joakim Noah. And you paid him $75 million for 4 or 5 years when he's been injury prone 3 years before he got to the team. Why would you do that? I understand you have to spend a certain amount of money, but come on, you could have did better. Could have done better than that. Much better. But what can you do? Well, that's it for today. This video ran for 23 minutes. I sat here and blabbed for 23 minutes. But again, if you like the video, if you like the content, please talk about it. Go in the comments, tell me what I need to do, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Give me insight so I can give you better product. Again, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down, but the most important thing is you watch the video. I don't care about all that other stuff comes second. Watching the video is first. It's just like listening to music. Every artist wants you to go and buy the album and go to Spotify and get their stuff from there. But the most important thing is you download because they want you to listen to the music. They want you to listen to the music. If you don't listen to the music, who cares? So, watch the video. We're going to end this off. Thank you for watching. Dream, try, do good. Mr. Feeney, Boy Meets World.